Ooh, so Grandma's got lots of friends that are going to help her read the next story. I've got my little wolf ears from the Great Wolf Lodge. I've got my little friend, Mr. I don't know, is that Mr. Labrador? I've got Cookie. I've got Brownie. Oh, yeah. And we're going to read a story now from this great new book that Grandma got. And this one is Marshall to the Rescue. Oh, I'm so excited. All right. So, Dogger, yes. Would you like to tell the story about Marshall to the Rescue? I would love to, Grandma. I would love to tell this story. Okay, here we go. It was an exciting day at the lookout. A flock of geese was stopping overnight to rest. Rocky built a big nest for the birds to sleep in. Rubble used his shovel. Ha 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 ha. Did you hear that? Rubble used his shovel. Rubble and shovel kind of rhyme, right? So Rubble used his shovel to fill the nest with bread for them to eat. Marshall was so excited. He accidentally tumbled into the nest. The geese are coming, he shouted. The geese flew in and landed, honking happily. Honk, honk. They started pecking at the pieces of bread right away. One tired goose settled down into the nest to relax. She likes your nest, Rocky, Ryder said, patting the pup on the head. Rocky smiled, proud of his good work. Put a baby goose wandered. No. It says, but a baby goose wandered away from the rest of the flock. He waddled into a blue bucket and he rolled down the hill. Oh no. I'll get him, Marshall announced, racing after the bucket. But as he ran, his feet got tangled up, and Marshall and the little gosling ended up bouncing down the hill. When they reached the bottom, they were both a little dizzy. The gosling's eyes rolled around. Are you okay, fuzzy little guy? Marshall asked. Cheep, cheep, the goose replied with a nod. Hey, Marshall exclaimed, Fuzzy is a great name for you. He nudged the gosling with his nose. Back to your family, Fuzzy. Marshall took Fuzzy back up the hill to the lookout. Nice work, Marshall, Ryder said. Marshall introduced the little goose to the rest of the Paw Patrol. Fuzzy liked all the Pops, but Marshall was definitely his favorite. Does anybody else like Marshall? Huh? Sky chuckled. Marshall, it looks like you have a new BFF. Best goose forever. And all the Pops laughed. Ha 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 ha. For the rest of the day, the two friends did everything together. The little goose followed Marshall everywhere he went. When Marshall washed his fire truck, Fuzzy polished the window with his tail feathers until Marshall accidentally washed the little goose with his hose. Uh-oh, oops. Marshall said, sorry, Fuzzy. That evening, Marshall walked back to the nest with Fuzzy on his head. Okay, Fuzzy, he said, bending so Fuzzy could hop off. Time to hit the hay or the nest. Fuzzy jumped up and down on Marshall's head. Cheep, cheep. He didn't want his new buddy to leave his head. I suppose I could sleep out here, Marshall said. But just this once, he curled up and soon they were both asleep. First thing in the morning, while Marshall was still asleep, Fuzzy wandered off looking for food. He was hungry. When Marshall woke up, he looked around for his friend. No Fuzzy. He called, but the goose didn't answer. Marshall ran over to Ryder. Fuzzy's gone! We have to find him before his flock leaves. Ryder called the Paw Patrol to the lookout. Our goose friends have to fly south for the winter, he explained. But they're missing their one little goose. If we don't find Fuzzy fast, he's going to have to leave without him. Chase, I need you to call Fuzzy with your megaphone. Marshall, Fuzzy, would you follow anywhere? I need you to help look for him. Oh, he's worried. Outside the lookout, Chase broadcast a goose honk through his megaphone, but Fuzzy didn't answer. Marshall sniffed the ground looking for clues. He found one of Fuzzy's feathers. Ryder picked it up, and Chase took a whiff. Achoo! Chase sneezed. Sorry, I'm allergic to feathers. He took a few more sniffs and sneezed. Hey, here's the way. Marshall, Chase, and Ryder jumped into their vehicles and raced across Adventure Bay. Their sirens blared as they followed Fuzzy's feather trail. This was an emergency! Suddenly, Marshall heard chirping. Fuzzy was on the roof of a train station. He had a piece of bread in his beak, and 2 seagulls were trying to steal it. Fuzzy, fly down here, Marshall called. He can't, Ryder said. A plastic soda ring is wrapped around his wing. Oh, no. Marshall, use your ladder to help get Fuzzy down. Marshall extended the ladder on his fire truck, which scared away the seagulls. He climbed up the ladder, but Fuzzy slipped on the edge of the roof and fell off. Use your helmet! Ryder cried. Marshall caught Fuzzy in his fire helmet. Sweet catch, Marshall, Ryder cheered. Now, let's get this off of you, Ryder said, carefully pulling the plastic ring off of Fuzzy. He was free again. Yay! The gosling flapped his wings, flew up in the air, and landed on Marshall's head. Ha, 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 ha. And then Marshall laughed. Ha, 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 ha. The Paw Patrol raced back to the lookout. They had to get there before Fuzzy's flock flew away. But they were too late. The geese flied away. Fuzzy would have to flap and catch up with them. Fuzzy didn't want to go, and Marshall didn't want him to leave. A little gosling belongs with this family, Ryder said. A little gosling, belongs with this family, Ryder said. Marshall agreed, and Ryder quickly came up with a plan to return Fuzzy to his flock. Let's take to the sky, Sky exclaimed as her helicopter rose in the air, lifting Marshall in a harness. Cheep, cheep! Fuzzy flapped his wing, followed Marshall through the sky. Soon they caught up with the fleet of geese. Goodbye, Fuzzy, Marshall called as Fuzzy joined the flock. Have a safe flight, you silly little goose. Back at the lookout, the pups played jump rope. You guys did an awesome job today, Ryder said. What a bunch of good pups. Marshall missed Fuzzy, but he knew his little friend would visit whenever his family flew overhead. Until then, Marshall had his paw pups to keep him company. Wasn't that a good story, Dogger? Yes, that was a great story. Yes, until we all can be together again, we're just going to have to trust that it's all going to be okay. We can watch out for each other, and we can love each other, and wish everything good, for all the birds and all the families in the world. We love you. Mwah!